Live in 5, 4, 3, 2. Live in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Welcome to the show. Here a couple minutes early. Just testing things out. Today on the Patrick Bet David Show, we're going to have an interesting guest for you. We're going to talk about some things, and then we're going to discuss some other things. So, there, if anyone's paying attention, you get a rare impersonation. Testing 1, 2. That was odd. My mic cut out on me. Hope that doesn't continue to take place. But that's why I clicked the button a few minutes before the hour. Maybe when I play a sound, it'll come back awake. And we are on. What's up, everybody? How is it? I just read the text from Captain Wagner. What's up? I don't know if you're tuning in. Checking the messages. I'm about to pull up the little dashboard in here where we get things started. I am experimenting with a light today. I got a light over to the left of my screen. Whatever side it appears, my window is on my right side where I get natural light, which is great. Super bright. It comes through super bright on these broadcasts. So I appreciate the feedback from folks. I'm trying to be mindful of that. I have a desk lamp right here that could dial it up even. It'll be super bright. Get it balanced. Maybe like that. All right, we're about 1 minute till. It is Wednesday, October the 30th, 2024. This theme song that I found, it's a pretty cool story. I actually just bought this CD over at the local record store. In fact, hang on just a second. Demonstrate for you. If you're tuned in live on a Wednesday. Welcome to the show, ladies and gentlemen. This is Mike and Dave's Multiverse. Dave's got the evening off, so I'll be your host tonight. We're going to have a quick little live stream, chat about a few things. I'm going to show a few articles, a few links on the screen. This real cool song is called Beam of Light, and it's by Quad Control Station off their record Don't Worry, the Aliens Are Just Fine. And I bought this hidden gem down the street at my local record shop, Blue Canary Record Company. It's by a local artist who does a lot of hip-hop projects, techno projects, so glad to be representing a local artist. Welcome to the live stream, folks. This is live stream number 3, third week in a row that we've done this. We had a 0.5, I think, a few days before our proper first show. It was a test. So here for history in the making if you tuned into these early stages. And let's get right to it. I talked about weather for the last couple of weeks. I honestly didn't pull up current links on the weather for today. I was actually going to reach back over the last couple of months, but there was a solar storm over the weekend, a minor geomagnetic storm on Saturday. And I guess again yesterday. I actually haven't gone through my usual YouTube digest for today. And actually me and Dave were just talking earlier this morning about how we're going to have to be more mindful of all the stuff we're watching on YouTube. If we're going to have a show and try to deliver to you, the audience, we got to pay attention to things. So a little solar activity. Now my face is much brighter. I have a white link or a white page showing on my left. I wanted to pull up a screen share though. Let's see here. Going back to earlier this summer, there have been a handful of scientific advancements or discoveries that have taken place this year, just this year, that for me was a great reason to start a show. That's why I got excited when Dave reached out to me a few weeks ago and said, hey, let's start a podcast. Because I've been thinking, like, yeah, there's fascinating stuff that was unknown when I was a little kid, when I was going to school, when I was working through these various phases. And it's like, nope, just a few months ago, scientists are discovering new things. And here's one of them. So this was published in Nature Geoscience. Evidence of dark oxygen production deep in the seafloor, the seabed. And basically you got these polymetallic manganese-rich nodules that form, you got these rocks that are broken up down in the ocean floor, and they form like little batteries. And they start electrifying the water. So through that electrolysis, you get oxygen out of all the H2O that's down there. And the funny thing about this, we do a swap tab. So this is the actual published article with all the scholarly data, all the p-values, your statistical whatnot. It might be a little too deep for the live stream today, but I want to swap to the news story place. The funny thing about this was, this is 2024 that I'm talking about this, but the data goes back to 2013 when deep sea ecologist Andrew Sweetman was facing a frustrating problem. His team had been trying to measure how much oxygen that organisms down on the seafloor were consuming. So they sent landers down over 13,000 feet and created chambers to measure how oxygen levels were changing. They expected those oxygen levels to fall over time. But instead of falling, the oxygen levels were rising significantly. And this kind of hit home to me and my experiences. The professor thought that the instruments were broken. They sent the instruments back to the manufacturer. They said, aha, this is broken. We don't trust the numbers that it's saying. And they tried to just pick it up, move on with their lives. They went about their lives and moving on from that. And then come to find out over 10 years later, not only was it true, it sheds light on a new geophysical process that we didn't even know was taking place way down there. Folks used to not think you could get oxygen generation that far down in the ocean floor. Well, now we know that it takes place. So what some scientists thought was a fluke, was a random fluke in their data, ended up being something worth looking into. So that hit home to me in my experience. So I thought that was interesting enough to share with you guys. Drinking a little fruit juice today. I got a blueberry lemonade and a little bit of ice, along with a glass of water. Gotta stay hydrated and keep from getting a dry mouth from talking on the broadcast. Okay, so I think I made my point with that one. That was a data type of story. Let's pull up the next one. So I'm showing that in order. That was earlier this summer, and then here we go. Now onto the moon. Just this year, scientists have discovered, or I would go as far as to say maybe admit that there are caves on the moon, honeycomb type of caverns on the moon. This is an Italian-led team reported there's evidence for a sizable cave accessible from the deepest known pit on the moon, located 250 miles from Apollo 11's landing site. The pit that was covered up was created by the collapse of a lava tube. So this information comes from radar measurements by NASA's Lunar Reconnaissance Orbiter, and the findings were published in the journal Nature Astronomy. So honeycomb type of caverns on the moon. Um, I wonder if they weren't knowing about that for a while, though, to be honest with you. Um, I got a buddy that works at NASA who is welcome to come on the show at any time. I don't know if you're listening, but I would be really glad to have someone from NASA come on the show and talk about what it's like working at NASA, give us an insider perspective. And, if we got to change your name and decode your voice or something, blow your face out, we're willing to do that too if you got a top secret clearance. So nothing should hold you back from coming on the show. Uh, I joke. Moving on to the next. Oh, but then when I looked up about the moon article, that was from earlier this summer. Just yesterday or today, when is this? 2 days ago, October 28th. Today's the 30th. NASA did publish an update on Artemis 3 moon landing regions. This is where they intend to land on the moon. I don't even know, later this year. But they're working on the next lunar mission, and they just published some of their prospective landing sites. It's available on nasa.gov if you're interested in that type of thing. I don't know enough about lunar geography, but that's the whole point of starting a show like this. Maybe we'll do a whole episode on lunar geography one day if someone wants to come on and discuss that. Artemis 3. So stay posted for more Artemis 3 news. 7 minutes after the hour, and we're broadcasting live on YouTube and Facebook. We should be on the Facebook platform as well. A quick shout out to Brittany, who is Dave's friend that is helping us create our social media presence across platforms such as Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, etc. We fooled around with TikTok for a little bit, but we decided we're not really a TikTok type of gang, at least for now. But we got room for another streaming platform, so we may try to get onto another channel. But no matter which platform you tune into, that's all right. We appreciate it. Here's the next one I wanted to talk about, and this is super fresh from August, from 2 months ago now, a couple months ago, earlier this summer. People didn't know about it before. Liquid water in the Martian crust. Now, as far as I understand, we have not physically, obviously, taken samples of the water or touched it, but it's the best way to explain the geological data that scientists have gathered, that there is some underground rock formation which is saturated with water, not unlike geologic formations which are on Earth. Trying to pull up, and that was one of the other things that really made me say, "Wow!" Just in the last few months, we're discovering things completely unknown before. I don't actually know how they got the data. That's what I was going to pull up. But water on Mars. So that's it, and that's it. Now maybe they send a lander up there or a probe up there and do get samples of that water, and they taste the water. And what is the water like? What if it's heavy water? What if it's all that kind of hydronium water, evidence of a heavily irradiating event on planet Mars sometime in the distant past? Who knows? We're here to bring you the latest in scientific news and discoveries, and maybe from time to time throw a little sprinkle of speculation on top of that if you're tuned in with us, and that's okay. But that would be speculative. I don't know what that water's like. It's on Mars. I'm going to try to pull up a video. Let me check if there's a chat. I should probably check the chat. Sorry. It's just me today and not Dave, so I'm pulling up the... Back on the mic. Okay, I just saw I just saw a couple of messages from 5 minutes ago. Thanks, guys. Thanks. My headset did cut out again. That kind of bothers me, even after I charged it on purpose. But whatever. Talking about Mars. Next, here's a good little video. I'm going to share this and hit play, and hopefully the sound comes through because I'd like to show this one. I won't play the whole.
Underground reservoir of liquid water on Mars marks a monumental leap in our understanding of the red planet's history and future potential. This subterranean ocean is so vast that it could cover the entire surface of Mars with a depth of 1 to 2 kilometers, approximately 1 mile. This revelation provides a crucial piece to the long-standing puzzle of Mars water history, transforming our perception of the planet. Mars' watery past billions of years ago, Mars was a very different world from the arid, frigid planet we see today. During this earlier period, Mars boasted a much thicker atmosphere and a warmer climate, conditions that would have supported the presence of liquid water on its surface. Evidence supporting this warmer, wetter past is found in several key features, valleys and outflow channels. Mars is dotted with extensive networks of valleys and outflow channels that closely resemble river valleys and deltas found on Earth. These features suggest that liquid water once flowed across Mars' surface, carving out channels and transporting sediments in a manner similar to Earth's river systems. Hydrated minerals. The identification of minerals like clays, sulfates, and certain salts, which only form in the presence of water, has strongly indicated past water activity on Mars. Detected by orbiters such as the Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter and rovers like Curiosity, these minerals reinforce the idea that water played a significant role in Mars' geological history. Sedimentary rock formations. Mars rovers have uncovered sedimentary rock formations with features similar to those formed by water on Earth. Evidence such as cross-bedding and ripple marks suggests that water once flowed on Mars, providing additional support for the planet's historical water activity. The catastrophic changes around 3 to 4 billion years ago, Mars' climate and geology changed drastically due to the collapse of its magnetic field. Unlike Earth, which has a strong magnetic field from its molten core, Mars lost its magnetic shield early on as its core cooled. This left Mars exposed to solar wind, which severely impacted its atmosphere and climate. Without its protective magnetic field, Mars' atmosphere became vulnerable to the relentless solar wind, charged particles emitted by the Sun. Over time, this solar wind stripped away much of Mars' atmosphere, leading to a dramatic drop in atmospheric pressure. This thinning made it increasingly difficult for liquid water to remain on the surface, causing it to evaporate. Additionally, the weakening greenhouse effect led to a significant temperature drop, transforming Mars from a warm, wet environment into the cold, dry world we see today. Any remaining liquid water likely froze into surface ice or permafrost beneath the Martian surface. The hidden reservoir scientists have long questioned the whereabouts of Mars' remaining water, given its dramatic loss. The polar ice caps, while significant, did not account for the entire volume of water once present. This discrepancy led to the critical question, where is the rest of the water? NASA's InSight mission, designed to explore Mars' interior, recorded over 1,300 Mars quakes during its 4-year mission. Unlike previous missions focused on the surface, InSight investigated seismic activity, heat flow, and internal composition. The seismic waves from meteor impacts and volcanic activity provided crucial data for examining Mars' interior structure. Scientists detected a large underground reservoir of liquid water by analyzing seismic waves, using a technique similar to those used on Earth for studying aquifers and oil fields. A mathematical model applied to the seismic data revealed that the signals best fit the presence of fractured igneous rock filled with water. Igneous rocks form from cooling and solidifying molten rock material, either magma below the surface or lava on the surface. As these rocks cool, they can develop fractures that create pathways for water flow and accumulation. Although igneous rocks are not usually highly porous, they can retain water under certain conditions. The discovery of this deep water reservoir offers vital insights into Mars' water cycle and climatic evolution. Despite being buried at depths of 11.5 to 20 kilometers, 7 to 13 miles, making it currently inaccessible, it presents exciting possibilities for future exploration. Implications for life. The discovery of a vast underground water reservoir on Mars doesn't guarantee life, but it opens exciting possibilities. The conditions in this reservoir could resemble those on Earth where microbial life thrives, such as in deep mines or on the ocean floor. If Mars has habitable conditions, they are likely to be found deep underground within this hidden reservoir. The revelation of this water reservoir also underscores the importance of understanding Mars' water cycle for future exploration. It suggests that any potential life on Mars could be hidden in these deep, subterranean waters, waiting to be discovered. Challenges.
We'll go ahead and hit pause. We just passed 5 minutes streaming another video, but shout out to the Space Odyssey channel. Tremendous video. We're subscribed to them. That's where I get some of my news from. Yeah, there you go. I just did an adjustment with my lighting, and I'm also adjusting the way the screen is working. Yeah, water on Mars. I don't know too much about finding life on Mars here today, but the water that's there may have evidence of past life, like they were talking about the collapse of the magnetic field, leading to the erosion of the atmosphere itself on Mars. It's one of the reasons why we are tuned in with solar weather here on this channel, here on this show for you. I do have a tab with the chat pulled up through this Restream app. I don't know if I can pull up comments, actual comments on the YouTube video. I'm just gonna move right into the next topic. So, water on Mars, cool stuff. Next one is kind of funny. If you've ever felt like there just wasn't enough time in the day to get done what you needed to do. Good, I got the right link first. This was originally published in 2020 and updated in 2022. The Earth does not always spin at exactly the same rate, folks. Sometimes it spins a little shorter and faster than others. And in the age of atomic clocks, we can measure and compare the differences. That's why these atomic clocks are so important. So, turns out the Earth has indeed been spinning just a little bit faster than normal recently. So if you've ever felt like you just didn't have enough time in the day to do what you needed to do, it's probably because you were trying to do too much. We're talking about fractions of milliseconds here, so don't try to blame it on the Earth. Where did you think I was going with that, folks? Just kidding. Atomic clocks expose the Earth's irregular speed. This is www.timeanddate.com. The Earth is not perfect. 2020 had some of the shortest days on record, as well as 2022. I'm going to go ahead and go on to the next tab because it's on the same website, and it is a updated version of the same one. What's this? Every time I get a new tab, it changes in this thing. Here we go, from April of 2024. So, in the past few years, the Earth's rotation sped up. It was at its swiftest in June of 2022, which included some of the shortest days ever measured by atomic clocks. In 2023, the trend reversed and may continue into 2025. So 2022 has the record for the shortest day by atomic clocks on Earth. I'm going to go ahead and zoom in on this chart. So you can see there's this periodicity, and let's be honest here, folks. Wiggle waggle is a wiggle woggly type of function on a graph. If anyone ever fooled around with like a TI-80 something type of calculator back in the day and did a few too many sinusoidal functions in the functional area, you end up with some graphs that look like this. So the Earth's wobbling, it's spinning at various rates. Looks to me like this overall the trend is that it's speeding up and that the days are getting shorter. You can imagine that for a little while it's going to bounce back up, but maybe by 2026 it's at another low. We get these local minimums every year or so. Really, we need to find an updated version of this. This ends after 2022, but there we go. We're about 20 minutes into the stream. Thanks for everybody that's tuned in. Dave couldn't make it this week, but he says hello to everybody. That was all the tabs that I had prepared as far as science news goes. Oh, but that reminds me, I'm going to practice this. We're going to do another segment for another segment, we're gonna do another song. We tested this stuff out. We've got this interface where we're broadcasting here. We'll kill the screen share for now. It's another track off the Quad Control Station record. Don't worry, the aliens are just fine. I get a kick out of that. Playing the song, and I'm thinking of using this. Maybe let's do the book segment, reading segment, because we want to talk about books on the show. When we have guests on the show, we want them to talk about books they've been reading. We did that with our buddy Steve on live stream number 1. So if anybody, and if you're tuned in at this early stage and you want to be on the show, let us know, right? If you read a book that's really interesting, come on the show and talk about it. Tell us about it. You can pull up information about it, look up the author. Anywho, blah, 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 right? Let's see. I was chatting with somebody at lunch Monday, actually, on Monday. Not that it matters. And the author Mark Kurlansky got mentioned. I was like, where have I heard that author before? Mark Kurlansky. Well, I have one of his books. I think this was given to me as a Christmas gift a few years ago. And Mark Kurlansky has written 3 nonfiction historical books. This one is titled Paper, and it's about the history of paper. The other 2 books are Salt, the history of salt, table salt itself, and then Cod, the fish. So a couple of interesting looks at commodities which have evolved technologically throughout time, and commodities that have also in various ways, shaped the way that things have unfolded. More so salt, I think. Wars were fought over the salt trade in history, in recorded history. Maybe not so much over cod or paper, but Mark Kurlansky is the author there. And here's another book that I picked up at the local used bookshop, a rare book. And this is not necessarily a mainstream text that you're going to find taught about geology. Path of the Pole by Charles Hapgood. This guy was a catastrophist who basically believed that from time to time the Earth is subject to these wild continental realignments, pole realignments. And I haven't read all this book. It's actually pretty dense. It goes into a lot of geological data, and I'll probably have to pull up some geological text to go along with it as I read it. But Albert Einstein helped this guy revise his 2nd edition. He was very keyed in on what this guy was looking into. So that's why I find it interesting. All right, so that was only like a few minutes, but that was the book section. I was going to do a book section. What else is going on? I'm going to go back to the chat. Thanks to everybody that's tuned in today, that's been tuned in. That was about all I had planned for the show. I've made it the last 20 minutes. I was gonna make fun of Neil deGrasse Tyson on the show today, but I'm gonna give him a break. If you really want to listen to like a normie physicist and normie scientist, go listen to Michio Kaku. At least he's nice and friendly. NDGT, he's kind of condescending. I don't really care for his style. D Rust, thanks for tuning in. The show must go on. I'm going to leave us with one thing today, that because this is my show, I can do it, whatever. We're not going to cover politics on this show. That's actually a decision that me and Dave made. We're actually here to offer folks a reprieve from that and a safe haven from that, and we hope to bring people together from all different persuasions. I did cast my vote today, early vote. I got my sticker. Show you that. I proudly voted as an American. And I got a song I want to play for you guys, really just to lighten the mood and just to make you laugh, hopefully. This is funny. This is what I'm going to close the show with. I'll let it play. It's a 4-minute song. It's got a little bit of language in it. Apologize for the language, but I hope you get the point I'm trying to make. The name of this band is the Hot Grits. All right, everybody. I hope when it lowers the volume on this, it lowers the volume for everybody. And you know why I like this show? Because I'm in it. That's why I like this podcast, because I'm in it. So thanks for tuning in today, everybody. Big shout out to Brittany, who's helping us manage our social media presence. And we plan to be back in another week, me and Dave. We really just randomly pick Wednesdays at 5, but it seems to be working. So probably count on it again next week. And you know, this is what the United States of America needs a little bit more of: a big honking saxophone and a brass section, and everybody to get up and down and dance together joyfully, all right? No matter what side you're on. That's why I played this song for you. Thanks for tuning into the show today, everybody. I'm Mike. We'll see you next time.